Welcome to the Stratford IP Strategy Academy. In this video, we will go over the importance of planning a forward-looking budget for your intellectual property. Let's get started. It's no secret that filing for patent protection can be expensive. From the initial drafting, to patent office filing fees, to patent agency costs, the numbers add up quickly. In most cases, the bulk of these costs are upfront, with costs dwindling as the patent moves through the prosecution phase. So, while it is important to have an adequate budget for upfront costs, it is equally important to have a forward-looking budget that anticipates the expenditures required to keep your IP portfolio well protected for the duration of its life cycle. It's also important to take into account that patent costs are dependent on several factors, such as complexity of the invention and the industry it falls into. Both of these could influence the length of prosecution and increase costs. Therefore, it is important not to fall victim to the myth that once a patent is filed, the bulk of the costs have been paid. And because of the variability in the prosecution stages, it is important to plan ahead and map out potential costs rather than assuming there's enough money to cover ongoing costs. What happens to your patent application after it is filed that could affect the cost projections? Once the upfront and short-term filing costs are paid, your application will most likely be subjected to 2 or 3 office actions before it is allowed. While standard office actions do not have patent office fees, you will still need to account for the time your patent agent or attorney spends on writing the amendments to the examiner objections. Not to mention the possibility of extension fees, and if the prosecution extends past the final office actions, additional fees such as a request for continued examination, which could run you into the thousands of dollars. Then, once the patent is allowed, there are issue fees and recurring maintenance fees. All of this is compounded if your portfolio growth strategy includes foreign filings. The costs can easily exceed $100,000 per patent family over its lifetime. When you identify IP that you want to protect, it is important to consider costs before the initial investment is made. Incorporate your filing strategy into your budget discussions, as this can have a big impact on both short and long-term costs. A forward-looking and long-term budget should be prepared that accounts for foreign filings and potentially lengthy prosecution, as well as the overall filing strategy. Funds should be kept aside to cover this budget. Too often, companies need to abandon very valuable assets for lack of funds during the prosecution stage, wasting significant money that was spent up front. With a 20-year life cycle on average, patents are a long-term investment in your company's innovation. To maximize those upfront costs and avoid wasting resources, it is important to budget for the entire patent life cycle, as costs do not end once the patent is filed or even when it is issued. Costs will vary from patent to patent, so it is important to plan a budget and not assume you'll have enough money to cover upcoming patent costs. Consider your filing strategy and how it is applied to different types of patent applications. If a patent is higher priority, it would make sense that more of the budget would be allocated to it, as there will likely be additional foreign costs and filings. A well-planned, forward-looking budget means you won't have any nasty surprises that could derail your IP strategy.